Um, we see that people who want to have children but are unable to conceive one themselves invest a lot of time, energy, and money into fertility treatments when there are so many kids around the world who are waiting to be adopted. I understand that adoption is not the cure for infertility. It is, though, the cure for childlessness. So, if the purpose is to rear a child, have a child, love a child, provide a home, why not just adopt a child who's already waiting for a home and to be loved?
See, already many doctors and organizations are trolling me and putting me on fire because I said first thing in India is you must close down all these damn fertility clinics. When the country is exploding with population, God damn it, you have fertility clinics? You need an infertility bomb. So because I said this, I'm in a lot of trouble. Now you try drawing me into more trouble. Yes, this problem again goes back to the first question. This is because you're so horribly identified with your own biology. It has to come out of your body, otherwise it's not yours. It is such a gross way of existence. Unless it comes out of my body, it doesn't belong to me. Well, you're married to a man or a woman, they didn't come out of your body. No, but our bodies are meeting, that's why. See, the identity has become so grossly biological, unless in some way it's biological interaction, it is not really a relationship. In fact, today, everybody, all of you have picked up these words from America. It just used to surprise me, but now that is the usage. If somebody says, I have a relationship, you are supposed to understand that they have a sexual relationship. Well, I have a relationship with you sitting here. This need not be body-based, yes or no? We're looking at each other, do we have a relationship or no? But why only body-based relationships are relationships? Isn't this a relationship? Hello? Your relationship with biology, leave it. Your parents, your brothers, your sisters, leave that. Your friend, is this not a relationship? Huh? Your milkman who comes and pours milk and makes your life going today, is this not a relationship? Isn't your taxi driver a relationship, I'm asking? No, you're not supposed to say that. If you say relationship, people will assume you're sleeping with them. Yes, unfortunate, isn't it? Relationships are of many kinds. Human beings can form varieties of relationships. But right now, unfortunately, we think only if bodies come together or only if something comes out of this body, it's a relationship worthwhile. Other things are not relationships. No, we have to change this language because this is causing a lot of, pain to people because body is the front end. See, body is the front end for every other creature on this planet. The only reason this creature is dominating this planet is not because we have the best body. You're not comparable to an elephant or a tiger or anything for that matter, you're not even as good as a buffalo. Yes, in terms of strength and physical prowess, you're nowhere comparable. This is dominant because of its intelligence, this is dominant because of its consciousness. But right now, we are creating a world where your biology is the front end of your life. This has to change. Because the biology is the front end of your life, you think your child means it has to come through you. Not that natural childbearing process is a bad thing. It is just that if you were a tiger, if you were a tigress, I would say please go to the fertility clinic soon. Because, it's becoming extinct, huh? Their numbers are dwindling and they may disappear. But human beings, huh? Just too many. We are nice, but we're too many, aren't we? Hello? We're just too many. In the beginning of 20th century, we were just 1.6 billion people. Today we are 7.6 billion people. In 100 years, over 4 times. But in India, of course, we do better than others. 1947, we were 33 crores. Today we are 127 crores. 70 years. Well, this is not just because of excessive reproduction, because our life expectancy has improved. In 47, our life expectancy was only 28 years of age. Today, it's reached somewhere around 66, which is a phenomenal achievement for the nation. It's great. But what I'm asking is, if you postpone death, should you also not postpone birth? Hello? This is not a philosophy, this is not ideology, this is simple arithmetic. Yes, this is simple arithmetic. If this many people were exiting, you are in a college right now, this year how many people exit, that many people they will admit, isn't it? Doesn't that work for the globe also, for the planet also? This many people exited, so this many people should come in. If you say this, you think, are you doing animal husbandry with us? Are you doing Hitler's business? This is what… oh, this is Nazi talk. Well, you multiply unconsciously, nature will do it in a very cruel way one day. Yes? If we don't consciously take steps as human beings, nature will do it one day in a very cruel manner. And that cruelty won't come like bang like that, it happens slowly. Crushing happens slowly. Already it's happening. Farmers are committing suicide, students are committing suicide, all kinds of people are doing all kinds of things. Why? Somewhere life is becoming hard, isn't it? Though as a generation we have highest levels of comfort and convenience, life is becoming hard simply because of the concentration of population. We are doing all kinds of ecological nonsense. But right now United Nations is making a prediction by 2050, we will be 9.6 billion people. Madam, you have to raise your floor, 50 floors. No, this won't be enough 50 floors you must raise, because they will be full like ants everywhere. 9.6 billion people, nobody can live well on this planet. Instead of making a prediction like this, we will be 9.6, why can't we plan? By 2050, we will be 3.5 billion people. Oh, what should we do, what should we do? If you don't do anything, population will go down.
My next question to you, Sadhguru, is when something bad happens to somebody and we know that it's always on their conscience, they're thinking about it a lot of times, but eventually there comes a point where they are ready to let it go. But somewhere there's a guilt that if they let this thing go, like something that's troubled them for so many years, there's this guilt where they don't want to let the past go because they feel guilty of letting it go. So why does that happen, and how do we let go of that guilt? Like, even if we take, for instance, sexual abuse, if a girl is sexually abused and eventually if she reaches a point where she's ready to overcome it, but she feels guilty to let it go because it has troubled her for a very, very long time, and not just her, the ones around her as well. So is it right to let it go at that point, or how does one deal with a situation like this?
See, I think the struggle is coming from a misunderstanding that something either unpleasant or terrible that one may encounter in one's life, it can just happen to anybody in so many different ways. If it happens, people think they must forget it. No, you should never forget it. If something terrible happens to you, you should never ever forget it, because if you forget it, you may walk into it again. But we must know the distinction between what is memory and what is living. You are living. Memory is a dead memory, you're supposed to use it as wisdom to see such things don't happen to you in your life. But it's a fact that for most people, what happened 10 years ago, they still suffer. What may happen day after tomorrow, they already suffer. Yes or no? What happened 10 years ago or even 10 days ago does not exist right now, does it? Does it? No. What may happen day after tomorrow does not exist right now, does it? No. So you're suffering essentially something that does not exist. How many of you are psychology students, huh? Is there a medical term for those people who are suffering something that does not exist? No, don't tell them please, they'll suffer that. If you are suffering something that does not exist, on some level it means insanity, isn't it? This may sound very cruel to you right now when I say this, because, oh, I got my pains. See, you're carrying your pains like badge, don't do that. When something bad happens to us, when something hurts us, we can either become wise or wounded. This is a choice we have. Either we can become wise with it or we can become wounded with it. As we already went through this, life is just a certain amount of time. It's ticking away. As you sit here now, you are 1 hour closer to the grave since you came here. Yes or no? Yes, it is. It's going away for all of us. So in this, where is the time to carry every experience like a wound? No. This must become your wisdom. If terrible things happen to you, you must become wiser than others, sooner than others, isn't it? But unfortunately, most people choose to become wounded simply because, again, in our systems of education, we have done nothing about the nature of human mind. We are busy studying frogs and cockroaches and trees and chemistry and physics and planets and everything. No attention to the nature of this one. So we don't know how to use our faculties. The greatest faculties that you have right now as a human being is, you have a vivid sense of memory. Everything that happened, you can remember as if it's alive right now. Yes? There is a repository here, there is an archive in your mind which can replay the whole video if you want. But this has become a problem. You started suffering the old movies. And there is a fantastic sense of imagination, so you already suffer a tomorrow which is yet to come. This is basically because we have not taught our children and people in the world how to employ our faculties, how to use our memory, how to use our imagination, how to experience life right now, how to sharpen the experience now. Your whole life is happening between these three dimensions: memory, present experience and imagination. This is your life, isn't it? These are three dimensions. We call them trikala, 3 dimensions of time. All your experience of life is happening here. But if you lose distinction between what is past, what is present, what is future, then everything hurts. For not everybody terrible things have happened. Unfortunately, for a few people they have happened. But the rest of the people are simply suffering something, isn't it? Because it's fashionable to suffer. Just people think if they're suffering, they are very intellectual, they are very profound. No, it's just stupid because you're suffering something that doesn't exist. You're not suffering what's happening right now. You're suffering what happened yesterday and you're suffering something that may happen tomorrow already. So this madness has been encouraged simply because we never train people how to use their faculties. Do you agree with me that this human machine that you carry and I carry, this is the most sophisticated machine on the planet? Hello? Have you read the user's manual? User's manual, have you read? No. When are you going to read it? On the last day? If you get a phone, if you buy a phone, should you read the user's manual in the first 3 days or after 3 years when you're discarding the phone? Earliest, isn't it? Within the first day you must read, then only you can use this phone well. The same goes for this. If you do not understand the nature of what this is, how will you put this to use? It is consuming you, your own intelligence is consuming you. You can call it stress, anxiety, pain, suffering, whatever. Essentially, your intelligence is turned against you, that's all the reality is. If your intelligence was working for you, taking instructions from you, you would keep yourself blissed out, wouldn't you? Hello? Your intelligence is turned against you. Why has your intelligence turned against you? That's what you need to look at, not about carrying these stupid things that have happened which should not have happened as badges in our life.